everyone, my name's Jamie from All Movies Fresh. So before you go check out today's episode, go smash the like and subscribe button down below. Now today we're joined by special actress and Hollywood star Paula Garce. How have you been keeping, Paula?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. So we've seen the end of On My Block season 4. Now you play Jenny, aka Ruby's mum, and you're this enthusiastic, funny woman, at the same time well disciplined. How was it playing that role?
Oh, it's been a role that I fought to get. I actually had to audition and go through the whole audition process for the role. In the
Okay.
beginning, I didn't think the role would get as big or as developed as it has,
Yeah.
but I'm so grateful to the showrunner and the creators of the show and the writers for making Henny who she is today, because it's really because of them. I only spit out words that they write on paper.
Yeah. No, I can. It was good to see because I mean, from someone who doesn't, I mean, because America has such a big base of Latino and Latina people, and we got to see that sort of mother side of it, and from coming from an Asian background, it was very similar. Very loud, very disciplined, yet at the same time very funny, which is I think. What my next question was bringing on to about your from season 1 to season 4, we've seen each actor and each actress develop more screen time. How would you say your character has developed from season 1 to 4?
Well, first of all, I would like to commend you on your first comment. It's nice to see some brown skin up there on the big screen, isn't it?
That's true. That's true.
And you're right. I really love the fact that you pointed out that Latinos and Asians and
Yeah.
African descendants, whether it be African American or whatever, we have a lot more in common than our
True.
cultures divide us, and it's nice that people have received our show so well, because it proves that point that we have more in common than our differences. So I just wanted to commend you on that point. And yes, again, I have to really commend the writers, the creators of the show, Netflix, for allowing for character development and for allowing our stories, our brown stories, if I may be so bold to say, to be told on such a just beautiful, big way, but realistic and truthful. And I love the fact that the show makes the young characters, they are their own heroes. They save themselves.
Yeah.
I'm just a bystander, pretty much. But no, I can give Henny a little bit more credit.
Yeah.
Henny is, I would say, definitely the typical mom. I am that mom, I hope.
Yeah.
It's reflected on how my mom is and was, and my grandmother, and just our strong women in the Latin community. They're usually like Henny, where they're just, trying to make everything happen at the same time with sometimes limited economy, right? But they do it with a big heart, and everything is about maybe making sure that their families are safe and they're happy, and they just want their kids to be happy and do better in life than what they had, right? So, and I think that's what Henny's character is, basically.
I mean, it was very interesting. So from watching the first season, because I was a massive from the start, and to see it develop, you see the humor in it as well, and obviously they made it a nice fun show with the parents being funny. But what we don't, if you look at the bigger picture, it's how coming from these sort of backgrounds, you have to push your kids a bit more. But also it dealt with a lot of things like the struggles that people go through. We also seen towards the end of the seasons like the Black Lives Matter movement being involved in it, and also the lack of diversity in acting and stuff. But I think Netflix did a fantastic job in bringing that, making it humorous, but also seeing the other side as well, which was amazing.
Sure, I think that's what makes the show so real, right? Because I came from a neighborhood very similar to what is being portrayed on My Block. And when I was growing up, I didn't look at my mom or my friends and we weren't like, boo hoo, look at our
Yeah.
life. We were making fun of how poor we were constantly, you know, making fun of ourselves, and in making fun of ourselves, also being very creative on how we
Yeah.
were going to get ourselves out of this, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's the thing, that I think that's the magic of the show, is
Yeah.
that it's not so, yes, there's heavy moments, obviously, and those heavy moments do land, and they do give the showrunners and the creators and Netflix does give that space to
Yeah.
land and make sure that the audience understands that, like, that's a heavy moment, but almost immediately it's hit with something
Yeah.
humorous or funny. And I think that's how human beings are, and that's
Yeah.
the beauty of the show, that it's finally a show where I could see, you know, Latinos, Black people, Brown people, Asians, just like being human, you know, and
Sure.
that's something that's it's incredible to say in
Yeah.
2021, 2022, you know, that we
Yeah.
still have this plight, but it
Okay.
is what
Yeah.
it is. And it's the reason why I think the show hit so
Yeah.
many people to heart. Like, look, you're in England and you're talking about it like if it's your backyard, and I'm
Yeah.
still in awe that that's even a thing, like that's even possible. And
Hmm.
just the other day, I was talking to someone in Brazil, and they felt like it was their backyard.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really interesting to see that, yeah, you know, what I thought for so long that made me so different, it's really
Yeah.
what made me so alike other people. And that's what this show celebrates, the fact that we are more alike than what we think.
Yeah.
We are funnier than what we think.
Yeah. I give definitely.
Or we are just as funny as we think, because we've always known our families are loud and crazy, and
Yeah.
but we celebrate life. And you're right, it's about like how interesting it is that our families are being portrayed as people that really come to work hard. We want our kids to do well in school, we want our kids out of trouble, but when
Yeah.
they do get in trouble, we are 100,000% there for them. Like,
And then back.
Henny is about to catch some bullets for her kids.
Couldn't agree
Literally.
more. But you know, alongside the contribution to acting into the show, I'm not sure if many people know, but you had the contribution of actually directing episode 2 in season 4. How did that come about?
Well, that was a lot of begging. I begged,
Yeah.
I annoyed a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But no, really, it came about because the creator of the show, Lauren Unerick, who's an amazing showrunner, writer, she's a director herself. I just, when I first met her, I thought like, wow, this woman is a jack of all trades, and
Yeah.
I want to be just like her. And I'm sure she thought I was crazy when she first met me, but she was like, okay, maybe she's perfect for Henny, right? But just through conversations with her, she really saw me. She saw my
Yeah.
passion. She saw that I was driven, and because of her, I got my first opportunity to direct on a Netflix show. And yeah, it's a hit show, so I know how lucky I am.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone does go check out well, the whole show really, but
Yeah.
if they only want to check something out, then
Check
just
episode 2.
season 4, episode 2.
You were promoting Harold and Kumar at Comic Con, and you saw that the lack of Latin fans were there, and I think that inspired you to create the Aluna comics, which is now converted into a video game. So that has gone massive since then. What was sort of the purpose behind that? Was it related to that, or was there a different story behind it?
Well, no, you said the story quite well, better than I've said it over the years. Yeah, the truth is, I went to my first Comic Con in 2008, and I loved it. I was like,
Yeah.
"What is this? And how come I've never been to this party before?" Right? And then, but very quickly, you know, realized there was a lack of diversity, a lack of representation, and yeah, I got a little upset about it and decided to do something about it. And I
Cool.
created my own comic books, which are
Mhm.
the Aluna comic books. I hope people can check those out. Those are on theworldofaluna.com, or wherever you get your comic books. You can find the Aluna comic books. And now over the years, she was a hero on a very popular online video game called Heroes of New Earth. I know for people that play that sort of game, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then because she was successful on that, I always knew that she deserved her own video game, but it took a while to produce. But this year we came out on Nintendo Switch. We are available on Xbox, on Steam, and very soon on PlayStation, early March. So for you PlayStation users, Aluna, Sentinel of the Shards will be available on PlayStation as well.
Go check it out. Go check it out. I know
yes,
it's inspirational from my aspect to see, like, we see a lot of actors and actresses go off out of their comfort zone, like self-producing, yourself video games as well. And I think that's what's amazing to see as well. I mean, I saw Brett, he was singing the national anthem at one of the NFL games as well, and it's so it was amazing to see. But it's all good to see how you've gone in your different paths, because on Twitter you were also having people read from the actors and actresses from the show read it out. So they're all sort of, like you said, it's not just in the show, they're supportive outside as well.
Oh yeah, Brett, I saw Brett off Broadway on an amazing show, and that's where I really got to see that he's like he's like a true triple threat. He dances, he sings, and acts, and all amazing equally. It's quite unfair, really. But we, Jessica, Marie, and myself, we were in New York and we went to see him. And so we all definitely support each other. And when I came out with the video game, they were all very excited for me. And the ones that were available were the ones that did like a little live reading with me with the comic books. And of course, they're all massive on, they have a lot of followers online. So any little help I can receive from them, I of course took it.
Take it, I have to say for sure. Outside of acting, is there anything sort of like in production that you would like to? Is there something that you thought, this is what I want to do, and let's see how it goes?
Well, that was my dream with directing. I wasn't quite sure about it. I was actually really, really nervous about it and didn't know if I was going to be any good, really. But On My Block really gave me the courage to do it. And then once I finished that project and saw the finished product, I was okay with it.
Yeah, it's good.
If I may say so, I'm actually good. So I really hope to get more jobs directing. It's really become a big passion of mine, and I really like to work with actors. I work really well under pressure, so I found it to be quite fulfilling. And it takes the pressure off of me. I could just be in my little hoodie and my sweats and tell people what to do.
From when you first started acting Hollywood up until now, what would you say has changed? Has things got better, or has it got worse, or has it stayed the same?
It's getting better as far as diversity, as far as like our cultures being truly represented by us, right? There's a lot more opportunity for us, all kinds of us to tell our own stories, right? But we still have a long way to go. Unfortunately, right now it's like a shift happening, and so sometimes I feel like, wow, there's a lot of like violent things happening behind the scenes, and but then you see things like in front of the camera that are quite beautiful, where people are really starting to shine. All kinds of cultures, the Indian culture, the Korean culture is like on a big TV boom right now. And some of the Korean shows, I don't even like put the dubbed English language. I like to hear it in Korean, and I'm actually like reading and understanding it and enjoying it even more. And that just really taught me, like, I don't have to be afraid of these new languages that I have like no connection to, or that I thought I had no connection to, that again, we're more alike. I know I'm repeating myself, but we're more alike than what we think. And
Yeah.
and when we're not alike, it's super interesting and entertaining. And so, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of actors out there that are, again, beginning to shine in Hollywood. Yes, long overdue,
Yeah.
but the shine is welcomed, right? And
For
so
sure.
it's really nice to see that for my daughter and for my son, there's a lot more diversity happening, and they can see themselves reflected in shows that they really enjoy watching. So that's been quite nice.
For sure. I think that's that. I could not agree more, to be honest. And what you said, like, you know, we see from viewers, we see everything happening, you know, looks all nice and stuff, but from behind the cameras, when things are leaked, it doesn't look all such a pretty image. But it's just, I mean, like, a lot of people have had to work around that in order to get to where they want to, which is, it's sad and it's unfortunate. But then it's
Yeah,
like, you
I
know,
mean, I've been really saddened by like a lot of like the Asian hate and violence that happens. I think, you know, COVID and a lot of like political things kind of exacerbated that situation. But but in front of the camera, you know, it has been really nice to see again, like the Asian community shine, you know,
yeah, oh
really as
yeah, for
far as
sure.
like entertainment, you know,
Hmm.
from what I've been able to, I'm not an expert at that, but
Yeah,
from what I've been able to see, like I see more of it,
yeah,
I think. But again, there should be a lot more.
yeah,
And yeah, the steps moving forward, right,
yeah.
have been a little bit slow.
Hmm.
But I say since I got on the scene, right, like when I first did Harold and Kumar, that
Yeah,
was the only script I had ever seen where an Indian man and a Korean man
yeah,
were the stars, right?
yeah,
And so when I saw that, I was like, what is this? You know, and then when I got to see that I was going to be maybe the apple of their eye, right? Like
yeah,
their love interest, I was like, I don't care what else happens in this movie. I have to get this role because this is new,
yeah,
and this is new for what Hollywood is, but it's
yeah,
not new for what I live in my life, right?
yeah.
Because I live in New York.
Hmm.
Of course, I know Indian guys and Korean guys and have dated them and think they're awesome and whatever. And so, to me, the movie was extremely ahead of its time
Yeah,
at the moment, was really, really funny because it was making fun of those stereotypes and turning them
that's
around.
true.
And again, making the Indian guy and the Korean guy the heroes, you know, which was
Yeah.
long overdue.
I love that.
and
That was a great
and
film.
yes, again, making fun of stereotypes, celebrating them when they
Yeah,
rang true, right? Because some of
yeah,
them are true.
yeah, that's true.
and
Yeah,
so yeah, I mean, from then till now,
yeah,
there is a difference, but slow. Slow. It's
that's
been
true.
slow.
You know, through the highs and the lows of acting, what would you say is the biggest thing that you've learned in your career?
The biggest thing that I've learned in my career is the biggest thing that I've learned in life is
Yeah,
that life will always be ever changing, right? So the goods will never stay good all the
yeah,
time, and the bad will never stay bad all the time. It's
that's
always
true.
shifting.
Yeah,
So I think to be a good artist, like if you're a person that is um, thinking that, you know, the business of art is what you have to do for a living
yeah,
and it's your life, you know, it's basically what happened to me. I couldn't see myself living without being an actor or breathing really.
okay,
But I also learned that in order for that to be successful, you also have
yeah,
to have a balance in real life.
mhm,
So when I didn't have a job or I didn't necessarily get the opportunities that I thought I should have,
mhm,
instead of getting angry or bitter, I mean, I would get sad, of course.
yeah,
There's a grieving period, but then you have to get over it really quick and make sure that your own personal life is just as fulfilling and that your downtime is being also fulfilled with other hustles, right? You have to have your B hustle and your C hustle. That's why I have a D hustle. You know, so it's like, yeah, I think the business of being an artist, you have to have, you know, other plans. There has to be plan A, plan B, plan C, you know, so, and those have to be just as fulfilling for you,
For sure.
just in case one is not working out for a little while.
Yeah.
That would be my what I've learned, you know.
Brilliant. So final question, for anyone, any actress, any actor coming into the scene, what, or wanting to get to the level that you're at as well, getting into Hollywood, what advice would you give them?
Ooh, persistence,
Yeah.
dedication, discipline. You know, it's a lot of no's. You know, you know, I still have to audition. I still have, you know, for that one audition that you see me, I probably did 100, and those were no's, you know. So it's all about just really loving the process, even when you're not getting paid and even when you don't have the job. So I used to hate auditioning, right? It used to get me very nervous. I was horrible at it. I'm probably still not that great at it, but I'm learning to love the process. I'm learning to, like, you know, putting on the makeup and learning my lines and, ooh, what can I do different with this character, and putting the lights. And, you know, my readers, who are usually my husband and my daughter, they're not so happy. They're like, oh God, she's making us read lines. Because it's a lot of self-taping, but I'm having fun.
That's it. That's the main thing, having fun.
So I would say, yeah, I would say you have to find joy even when you're not getting paid for it, and you have to stay dedicated, right? And it's all about being persistent. Persistence is the name of the game. I mean, I've been acting for 33 years. It took me 33 years for someone to give me an opportunity to direct. And as you guys may see, I can't shut up. So I've been talking for a long time, asking for the opportunity for a long time. And someone got sick of me and was like, please just give her the opportunity so she could shut up, you know. That's basically what can happen. So stay persistent, stay disciplined, stay happy, stay strong.
I could not agree more. It's a good thing to end on, because you know, it's not only who actors and actresses can take that advice as well, but someone like myself wanting to do a blog, you know, it's persistence, like annoying your agents for actors interviews and stuff like that. But it's you'll get 1,000 no's and you'll get that one yes. And like you said, over the 33 years, you know, you finally got that yes into directing, and that's sort of like the gateway to more and more opportunities for yourself, which, you know, I know you would do a fantastic job of. You know, from that one example that we've got is, you know, is one thing that you can just lead on to the other, and it's like a building block now. And after all, overall, you can look back at your career and say, you know, I've achieved what I've wanted to achieve, both in acting and other aspects as well. So, you know, first of all, congratulations on my block, on Aluna, on your career as an overall as well.
Oh, thank you so much. And congratulations to you. I enjoy your video blog, and you're very personable, and thank you for choosing me to interview. And this has been lovely. And yeah, you know, all you have to do is just dream, right? But you have to also work hard to make that dream happen.
For sure. For sure. Thank you very much, Paula. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.